Man, it looks like Beanie Bishop for the Chicago Bears definitely solidified his roster spot, man. He had two interceptions. He got one on Shedeur Sanders, and he also got another one on Dylan Gabriel. Bears head coach Ben Johnson ecstatic about this dude's two interceptions, ecstatic that he picked off Shedeur Sanders. We have to get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Share the channel, hit the bell notification, hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. This here is posted. Bears route Browns 34-10. It's Beanie Bishop Jr. hauls into interceptions. Now we got to listen to what the head coach.
What happens when a completely overlooked, undrafted rookie defensive back steps onto the field in a meaningless preseason game and absolutely dominates two of the most highly publicized young quarterbacks in professional football? We are currently witnessing one of the most explosive, unexpected roster battles in the entire National Football League. While the mainstream sports media was completely obsessed with hyping up the quarterback matchups, a young man named Beanie Bishop quietly walked onto the gridiron and delivered an absolute masterclass in defensive positioning. He didn't just survive his preseason debut. He actively generated two massive, highly viral interceptions, completely shaking up the depth chart and putting the entire coaching staff on high alert. You are locked into NFL Zone Talks, the absolute, undisputed authority on the raw, unvarnished truth behind the biggest cover-ups, positional battles, and locker room dynamics shaping the league. Make sure you absolutely smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and let's dive directly into the incredible performance that has the entire football world talking. To truly comprehend the sheer magnitude of what Beanie Bishop just accomplished, you have to look directly at the absolute chaos he caused for the opposing offense. Bishop wasn't simply cleaning up tipped passes or getting lucky on broken plays. He was actively diagnosing the route concepts and attacking the football. In an incredibly rare, highly impressive sequence of events, he managed to secure an interception against Shedeur Sanders, and then later in the exact same game, he successfully picked off Dylan Gabriel. Securing a massive turnover against one highly touted prospect is a great day. Securing turnovers against two completely different quarterbacks running entirely different schemes proves that your mental processing is operating at an elite NFL level. The fans immediately took notice, and the front office is suddenly facing an incredibly complex, highly stressful decision regarding the final 53-man roster. But the most revealing, undeniably authentic validation of Bishop's performance came directly from the man making those roster decisions. Head coach Ben Johnson stepped up to the post-game podium and could not stop praising the young defensive back. Johnson specifically highlighted Bishop's incredibly quiet, hyper-focused demeanor inside the facility. He explicitly noted that Bishop isn't the type of player to run his mouth or demand the spotlight. Instead, he has his head completely buried in the playbook, desperately trying to absorb a highly complex defensive system. That intense, silent dedication is exactly what coaching staffs desperately look for in undrafted free agents. Bishop is letting his incredibly violent, highly disruptive play on the field do all of the talking for him. However, Johnson also delivered a highly advanced, incredibly technical breakdown of exactly why those interceptions occurred, completely exposing the brutal reality of playing quarterback in the NFL. Johnson openly credited the fierce, unrelenting pressure generated by the defensive line as the primary catalyst for the turnovers. He explicitly explained that the defensive front successfully overwhelmed the pass protection, violently forcing both Sanders and Gabriel completely off their designated passing spots. When a young quarterback is forced to panic, adjust his feet, and deliver the football while running for his life, mechanical flaws are instantly exposed, leading directly to the massive overthrows that Beanie Bishop was perfectly positioned to exploit. It was a flawless, highly coordinated marriage between a devastating pass rush and elite secondary coverage. And that specific, highly coordinated execution was actually the direct result of a brilliant, highly calculated coaching decision made before the game even started.
To get some recognition.
The screenplay, talking about that got out of the gates, what was your vantage point on what made that all click?
Oh, shoot. We've been harping on those details. We got specific landmarks. We drill them every single day. I think our defense has done a really good job throughout the week of practice to make those hard for us. So we've had a lot of very difficult looks. Some of our worst plays in practice over the last couple of weeks have been our screens. And so I just think it's a really good job up front.
In the press conference, Johnson revealed a massive tactical secret. He openly admitted that he intentionally stripped the entire playbook of complex motions, shifts, and pre-snap disguises. He referred to it as taking all the bells and whistles off, forcing the team to play a completely static, foundational style of football. Why? Because when you remove the heavy mental processing required by complex play calling, you allow young, highly athletic players like Beanie Bishop to stop overthinking and just play incredibly fast, violent football. By simplifying the scheme, the coaching staff was able to accurately evaluate pure, unadulterated play speed, and Bishop clearly passed the test with flying colors.
With Case taking the reins and then transition on over to Miller just to see how he was trying to stay in their wheelhouse. He was part of the quarterback meeting last night, and we were talking about what was on the call sheet and their favorites and all that. And I think it was a phenomenal experience for him, and I know our guys really rallied around that as well. So I'll open it up from there.
Why'd you hand off play calling duties at all? Why him specifically?
Yeah, well, I think we might take a look at a couple guys here during the preseason. Last year, Declan had an opportunity in one of those games to do this.
But an elite head coach never allows his team to get comfortable, and Johnson immediately used the massive interceptions to deliver a brutal reality check to the other side of the locker room. While he praised the defense for generating the takeaways, he aggressively called out the offense for fundamentally failing to capitalize on the momentum. He explicitly stated that when the defense hands you the football in opposing territory, you absolutely must score touchdowns, not settle for field goals or punt the ball away. It was a stark, highly necessary reminder that an elite defense is entirely useless if the offense cannot properly convert massive momentum shifts into actual, scoreboard-altering points. We are officially standing at an absolute, undeniable precipice regarding the immediate future of this incredibly talented football team. The era of simply relying on highly drafted draft picks and massive free agent signings to fill out the roster is completely dead. Beanie Bishop just proved that the absolute best talent is sometimes found completely off the radar, quietly grinding in the film room and waiting for a single opportunity to strike. The coaching staff is now actively forced to reevaluate their entire secondary rotation. Completely terrible.
Front is coming off the ball, and they make it very difficult for one-on-one blocks. And you got to be very specific with your angles and all that. And so there's a back and forth there in the running game as well. So hard to say a whole lot about left tackle quite yet.
Setting aside today, the first team offense, how ready do you feel like that group is now with less than a month until the season starts?
Yeah, I feel really good about where those guys are at. We had a phenomenal throwing session before we got going today, and that was by design. I mean, we got over 60 plays that we're able to simulate, going in a huddle, calling the play, talking through the coaching points, the footwork, the timing, the rhythm.
Of cutting a young player who clearly possesses a magnetic attraction to the football. I want to hear your absolute raw, unfiltered thoughts down in the comments below. Do you genuinely believe Beanie Bishop has officially locked down a spot on the 53-man roster? And can this defense continue to force massive turnovers once the regular season officially begins? Drop your absolute best, most aggressive takes below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep your notifications on, and I will see you all in the very next deep dive.